Well, the screen says that we're live. Let's see if it's true. I imagine so. I am Tim Carter. This is Ask the Builder. That's who I am. I'm the Ask the Builder guy. And I am here today, and we're going to talk about how to clean a toilet. That's just one of the things we're going to talk about. I'm sure we're going to talk about a lot of things. And you're the one who controls where we go. I say that tons of times. If you are watching this live stream after it was recorded, then you need to understand that if you happen to tune in one day when the stream's live, that all you have to do is type into the chat whatever question you have about any part of your house, how to do anything, and I'll do my best to answer it. That's why I'm here. That's why I do the live streams. One of the things I'm going to talk about, if you might be a regular who is watching all the time, and yesterday afternoon, late in the stream yesterday, it was completely unscripted, completely random. I gave you a gift. I gave you access to a story that I had, basically it's a chapter in a book that I'm writing for my daughter. And I don't know if you went and read it or not. But anyway, if you have not done it, go back to yesterday's live stream and kind of way down in the chat. Eventually, as you advance through, you'll see that you'll see the link to that story. Hey, Will, how you doing? Yeah, I got your photos. They're great. I responded back to your email, so check it when you can. It looks like you had the inside of that pot wet, and I'm wondering if you could kind of let it dry and maybe kind of angle it. Don't use a flashlight because that's too harsh. But I'm really trying to actually, the photo you sent may be the best you can get because it's just like the sides of that pot are black. I mean, and I've seen that before. I've seen photos from other customers. But you are not going to believe it's going to be brand new when you follow my instructions. I sent you an email back that tells you exactly how to clean that coffee pot. You're going to be blown away. It's going to look like the day you took it out of the box. Okay. So before we go any further, I want to go ahead and talk about, remember, no matter what I'm going to talk about now, if you have a question about something else, feel free to ask any question. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be how to put a new roof on, how to fix a garage door, how to fix a squeaky floor, how to patch drywall, how to put down vinyl asbestos tile, how to deal with asbestos, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. So whatever question you have, just put it in the chat. And what I try to do is I'm now trying to talk about the main topic right away so that I don't frustrate people after the fact who watch this live stream when it's a curated video. So we're going to talk about how to clean a toilet. So it's really the biggest problem that most people have that have to look this up. I think what it is, just a feeling I have, it's kind of speculation, is that they have let their toilet bowl go too long and then they try to clean it and they don't get really great results because it got really dirty. There are all types of things that can stain a toilet. You can have iron in the water. You can have just things in the water that will cause discoloration. You can have very hard water, like the people down in the Southwest, Arizona, New Mexico. They can have really hard water, and there's other parts of the nation that have very hard water too. And you can get a real thin layer of hard water deposits that actually build up on the sides of the bowl. And because think about it, each time you flush the toilet, it washes the sides of the toilet bowl, and then they're wet. I mean, it's a real thin film of water. And then I don't know what. How long do you think it takes for that water to evaporate? I don't know, 30 minutes max. I mean, not long. I mean, not long. And so when that water evaporates, it leaves behind on that surface of the glaze, I mean, an ultra thin layer of mineral deposits. And if you don't clean that off on a regular basis, what can happen is those mineral deposits can actually start to trap stains. And then you get this layering effect. So if you have a layer of mineral deposits here, and then it gets stained and you don't clean it, and then you flush the toilet another 30 times, you've got 30 layers of mineral deposits on top of that stained one. So it can be really problematic. So in that case, you might be able to try to clean those stains if it is hard water with some white vinegar. And you have to let the vinegar, you have to slosh it up on there and let it sit, scrub it with a brush, the toilet brush, not a steel brush. And then you might have some good luck. Really, really tough hard water stains, you're going to have to use muriatic acid. And I'll talk about that in a minute, how to use that. Very dangerous, very toxic, really, really a tough product to work with safely. Here's what you don't want to do when you clean a toilet. So do not use any abrasive cleaners. So like Ajax, like if you get really, if you're getting really frustrated and you think, okay, I'll shake some Ajax in there, or any other cleaner that's like soft scrub. Soft scrub says it's got, that it won't scratch. Well, it will. It's got very small abrasives in it, ultra fine abrasives. You can, if you scratch the glazed surface in the toilet, if you scratch that glazed porcelain, it's going to stain that much easier next time. So you cannot, no abrasives. They're not required. You don't need them. And so you just want to use like a Dobie pad, a nylon Dobie pad, a regular toilet brush, and that's what you want to do. If you're on a septic system, no chlorine bleach. You cannot be putting chlorine bleach in your toilet bowl and let it go down into the septic tank. You'll kill all the bacteria. Don't do that. Lorraine, how you doing? So you're checked in here. Awesome. The key to cleaning a toilet, as crazy as it sounds, is you just have to keep on top of it. You just should be doing it you should be cleaning it every week, every other week. And like here at my house, all I do is I just squirt a little bit of liquid dish soap in it, and as long as and I swish it around with a toilet brush, scrub it really well with a toilet brush, and then the toilet looks brand new. I mean, it's like a matter of just keeping up with it. Louise, how you doing? Great that you're here. So that's the key, is just keeping up with it. The really, really tough stains, most of the time they're hard water, meaning if you use the brush and you cannot get anywhere and you flush it and it doesn't look like it changed at all, odds are it's a hard water type stain. And the way I would do it, you can start with white vinegar. Luckily, white vinegar is really pretty cheap at the grocery store. Buy it in gallon jugs. And if the stains are up on the bowl above the water line, what you have to do is first of all, what you do always is you clean the toilet. In other words, put on the rubber gloves, put some liquid dish soap in there, take the toilet brush, completely scrub the whole bowl up underneath the rim, get it completely clean, do it twice, go ahead and flush it 2 or 3 times, get all the soap out. Okay, now what I would do if you have stains up on the sides of the bowl above the water line, I would take clean paper towels. I would have them in like a bowl. Like a jelly pan that you use for baking. Put a little bit of vinegar in the jelly pan, just pure white vinegar. Saturate the paper towel. Put the paper towel right on the bowl and wallpaper it. In other words, if you're freaked out, wear rubber gloves. Go ahead and pat that onto the porcelain so that the paper towel is contacting the porcelain, and do that all. But don't let the paper towel touch the water in the bowl. Then at the same time, though, here's what we'll do: we'll pour a half a gallon of white vinegar in the bowl, so that you have a really vinegary mix if it happening. And then you just let it sit. Just do this and let the toilet sit for as long as possible. Hopefully you've got 2 toilets in the house. Go use another toilet. And then after, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, if you're lucky enough to have another toilet, take the paper towels off, take the toilet brush, scrub it. You should see remarkable results. Most of the time, the white vinegar will do a great job. And the reason why is white vinegar is an acetic. It's an acid. It's a really light form of acetic acid, and acids will get rid of the hard water deposits. But really, really thick, hard, tough hot water, hard washings, you got to use muriatic acid. All right, I'm going to get caught up here. John says toilet pumice stone. I would, if it's truly a pumice stone, made out of pumice, which is made out of volcanic glass, I would never do that. If you want to ruin a toilet, then go ahead and put pumice in it. Okay. Lorraine says, when I do a deep clean, I use a plunger to get as much water. Yes. Yes. So the other way to do that, instead of a plunger, Lorraine, you can do the same thing. All you have to do is just, if you go watch that video on my website, how to unclog a toilet, instead of using that, well, the plunger works pretty good. It'll get it pretty low. You can just pour a couple of gallons of water into the toilet really fast, and it'll do the same thing as the plunger. But that's a good idea, is to get as much water out of the bowl and then put as much vinegar in as you can, because then you keep the concentration of the vinegar higher. I don't know. I don't think I doubt you're over the top. I don't know. Everybody's got their own cleaning regimen. Everybody's got their own level of cleanliness, so, and that's good. That's a good thing. Okay. John Rep says, I have had good luck with CLR or industrial lime solvent. What do you think? Well, if you're on a city sewer, that's okay. You just don't want to use those things. If you're going to use it and you're on a septic system, you have to do what Lorraine said. In other words, you have to get as much water out of the bowl as possible. You can use a shop vac, and then you would fill up the toilet bowl just to where the water line is, because you don't want any of that chemical going into the septic system. And then after it works, you have to figure out a way to get it out of the bowl and get it outside, without hurting yourself or hurting anything in the house. But you don't have to worry about that if you're on a city sewer. John, I get it. I get it. I'm trying to pull an analogy for you right now, John, about the pumice stone. I'm trying to pull a really good analogy. I'm having trouble. Okay. About companies that sell a product that doesn't work. All right. Or that causes damage. So I'm just having a hard time. All I'm trying to tell you is that, and you can prove this. All you have to do is if you think the pumice stone is a good thing to use, here's the test. This is actually exactly where I want to go. If you think it's a good idea to use the pumice stone on your toilet, then I want you to take that same pumice stone, this magic toilet pumice stone. I want you to go out on the windshield of your car. All right, you got me? Go out on the windshield of your car, put a little water on it, and take the pumice stone and start circling it around on the windshield of your car. All right, do that, rinse it off, dry it, and tell me what the windshield looks like. If you've put a bunch of scratches in the windshield glass, which you will do, then that tells you it's the worst thing to use in your toilet bowl. John says, I've used 1,000 times, never damage a toilet. Okay, so then maybe, like I said, maybe this product does not contain pumice, so they have it mislabeled. But if you think it's not damaging the toilet, do that to the windshield of your car or the windshield of your truck, and then come back and let us know what happened. All right? Because you can't tell if it's damaging the glaze on the toilet, because the toilet glaze is not clear. I mean, the toilet's not clear. It's got the white china behind it. So you can't tell whether you're scratching it or not. All right. John. Oh my gosh. I'm glad you're here. And you're actually you're actually providing some really good teaching moments here. I'm glad you're here. Keep the comments coming, John. Just because you do realize that Amazon has got a problem with reviews that are horrible. And you do realize that some people leave reviews who don't know what they're talking about. And as I said, you do realize that the product could be causing damage, and all those people leaving reviews don't realize they're damaging their toilet. All right. Just so you just have to understand that. And you need to understand about you probably don't know who I am. You probably don't know anything about my college degree. So my college degree is in geology. And in geology, we happen to have a thing called a hardness scale. And we know about the hardness of things. All right. And so I happen to know that pumice has got a hardness of 7 and glass is down near 5.5. All right. So quartz is going to scratch glass. All right. So we all know that. Anyway, so John, just because a lot of people on Amazon say it's really great, that doesn't mean it's great, because there's a lot of people out there who don't, they don't know what they don't know. So anyway, just here's what like I said, here's the challenge. If first of all, I'm just assuming that it has pumice in it because they call it a pumice stone. If it's truly volcanic pumice in that thing, go out. If you're so confident that it's not hurting the toilet, go out and do that right on the windshield of your car or truck. Let us know what happens. Please go do it now. If you're at home, if you're at work, go do it right now. And then I'm going to be here for the next hour. I can't wait for the results. But if you scratch your car, I'm not going to repair it. I'm not going to pay for it. Steve, how you doing? Great that you're here. John wants to know with the septic system. So I think I'm going to have to do a live stream about septic system. John, here's what you need to do about septic systems. You don't have to use Ridex. You don't have to ever put anything in your septic system if you do this. All you need to put into your septic system is just what comes out of your body, liquid and solid, and very, very tiny, the minimum amount of food particles, and that's it. No toilet paper. All right. So that means you're going to get a bidet, or you're going to get one of those bidet toilet seats. All right. If you do that, you're going to discover you don't need any Ridex. And also, here's the best part: as long as you don't use toilet paper, you can probably clean your septic system every 10 years. You're going to be fine. So, all right. I left a bad review on Amazon. They gave me my money back, but asked that I take it down their review. Of course they do. I hope you didn't. I hope you don't take the review down. Okay, John. You win, dude. But like I said, if you're so sure of all this, please go out and try it on the windshield of your car. Why don't you answer me? Will you try that pumice stone on the windshield of your car or not? And if not, why? Because it's the same thing, right? I mean, the glass on your windshield is the same glaze they put on that flipping toilet at Kohler or American Standard. So tell me why you wouldn't go out and clean your car windshield with that same product. Tell me. All right. So it's a great teaching moment. I love that. I love that. So anyway, what else did I want to tell you? Oh, if you, I opened up with it, and you might not have been here. Right at the beginning, I opened up and talked about the story that I shared with you. That's going to be a chapter in the next volume of the book for my daughter. I hope you got to read it, and I hope it brought you a lot of happiness. It was a great. Why are we talking about clean toilets? Because that's what I picked as a topic today. I don't know why. I just was looking for a topic to pick to be able to title the live stream. We can talk about anything. We can talk about anything. So Anyway, pick what you want to talk about, Steve. Brian Weber, hi. What do you think of spray foam for insulating? I hate it and only use rock wool and coal now. Only thing I would, I'm not a big, yeah. So Brian, I'm not a big fan of the spray foams. For a couple of reasons. I had a couple of jobs where we used it on actually kind of early in my career. It's a long story. The customer requested it. The customer used a lot of it out of his factory that he had, so he wanted to have this room edition all foamed. Um, I'm not positive about the safety of it from the chemical off gassing. I question that. From a standpoint of remodeling down the road, it becomes a nightmare. Meaning, if somebody down the road wants to run a wire through a wall, or if you're trying to fish a wire, forget it. Because you filled the cavity solid with this foam. I just don't like it. I don't like it, and I also wonder about what one thing you need to know that I do. I always look at the payback. In other words, if I have, let's just say this. Let's say in your situation with Rockwell, let's say the Rockwell cost $1,000 to install, and the spray foam cost, I don't know, $2,000. I'm just making a number up, double. Maybe it's not that high. It doesn't matter. So my question always is, how long is it going to take us in energy savings to recapture that extra $1,000 plus the interest we lost on it? In other words, is it going to take 15 years? I mean, are you still going to be in the house 15 years from now? I mean, so there's a lot of, it's a very complex issue. It's really not that simple. Glass has a hardness of 5.5. I know, John. That's what I told you before, John. I don't know why you're trying to pick a fight with me on this, John, because John, you don't seem to understand. The glaze that is on a toilet, don't confuse that with porcelain. In other words, a lot of people think that porcelain. Here's a piece of porcelain for you. This is a piece of porcelain that my daughter, she's an art class, she made years ago. This is porcelain. That's not the same glaze that's on the toilet, Commander. It's not the same hardness as porcelain. Okay, so you have to understand that the glaze that's on your toilet has got the same hardness as glass. All right, so if you don't want to ruin your windshield, that's okay. Just go get a scrap piece of glass. Go to the flipping hardware store, get yourself a small scrap piece of glass, and wet the pumice stone up and put it on the glass, and then come back here and let us know what happened. If it's, like I said, if it's truly pumice, the glass is going to be scratched to hell. So I don't know why you want to fight me on this, dude, because you're not right on this one. I'm sorry. All right. And what happens in this kind of situation, here's the sad part, is that I've got these comments that are in this chat. They're there forever. In other words, these are there forever. They're not going away. So if somebody comes down here a year from now or two from now, they're going to see what you're typing. So keep that in mind. Watch what you say here, because it doesn't go away. All right. All right. Let me get caught up. Meg's carpentry, baking soda works. Meg, I don't know about that. Meg, nope. I'm actually going to write a national column about that. Not this week, probably a week from now. I see all this advice of people saying, mix baking soda with vinegar. It makes a magic cleaning solution. No, it does not. It does not do that. It just creates some carbon dioxide and some foam. It's not some magic cleaner. It's a bunch of hooey that's on the internet. I'm telling you. This is great. John, here, John says, don't toilets have a protective coating over the porcelain? All right, this is awesome. This is actually a very interesting teaching moment. And my daughter, I wish my daughter was here, but she would never agree to be on camera. My daughter is pretty much an expert in pottery. Here's some of it. Here's a piece she's made. Here's a piece of glazed pottery my daughter made. All right. So this is the exact same thing that toilets are made of. Exactly the same. It's clay and it's got a silicon glaze on it. All right. So that's what they use to make glass out of. All right. So this glaze coating is the exact same thickness, probably within a micron or two, of what's on toilets. That's it. It's just regular glaze. There's nothing fancy about it. Nothing. It's not some magic coating that resists scratches, because I can easily scratch this glazed tile, this glazed pot. All right. So you need to have a grasp of what you're really talking about. So it's just no, it will not handle scratch pads. I don't know how. Here's another way you could test it if you wanted to prove it. Here's actually the best way if you want to prove and you should test this. Go ahead and test it. Here's all you have to do. Like in John's case, who stopped commenting. John needs to take the pumice stone, and on the outside of the toilet, like back behind the toilet, on the side where you really never really get down and look at it, go ahead and use the pumice stone on the outside of the toilet, because the outside of the toilet has got the exact same finish as the inside of the toilet as far as glaze. And go ahead and rub it as hard as you want, and then rinse it off, and then dry it, and then look at it with a flashlight or a magnifying glass. But also, you got to check it out before you even use the pumice stone. Make sure you look at it with a magnifying glass ahead of time, just to make sure there's no scratches on it. And then do the pumice stone, then look at it again really closely, especially if you have one of these. I'll find it, don't worry. One of these, Hastings triplet, and I guarantee you, you know what? I'll make the same bet with you I made with Alex. 1 pound of dark chocolate pecandis from Aglamesis. I'm going to have so many boxes of pecandis here. I'll put them in the freezer. I'll have enough for 10 years. All right. So anyway, let me get caught up. Yes, Meg's carpentry. I covered that before you probably got here, about vinegar. I covered that, so you can rewatch the live stream if you want to hear how to use the vinegar. Steve says, "Is it true that some mortgage insurance companies won't deal with you if you use spray foam and you cover joists and they can't see them?" Maybe, I don't know. I haven't. I don't know. That may be true. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of it and that's one of the reasons. I want to be able to inspect things. No. Okay. So Meg, great. I'm glad you said that. Baking soda is also a natural product for septic system. You do not want to put baking soda in your septic system. Do not do that. It's alkaline. It's an alkaline. Like, oh, you're not supposed to put anything in your septic system. Nothing. Zero. Nothing. The only thing you're supposed to put in your septic system is what comes out of your body, and very tiny pieces of food that get by that strainer that's in your basket strainer. Do not use a garbage disposal. So just what comes out of your body. No toilet paper. No toilet paper. Use a bidet. And you do that, septic system's going to be fine. Don't start playing amateur chemist with your flipping septic system. There are so many amateur chemists around. I love it. All right. So Will says, I think he's mixed up cleaning porcelain. I don't know what he's mixing up. I think what the problem is people are confusing porcelain with the glaze, and they're two different things. It doesn't matter. All right. All right. Lorraine says they do sell pumice stones at the store for cleaning toilets. She says, what? Lorraine, come on. Why would you think that using the pumice stone with water would not scratch the toilet? Once again, Don't believe me? Take the pumice stone, go to one of your windows. Maybe it's a basement window. I don't care. Get it wet, scrub, 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 let it dry. Tell me if the window is not scratched. I already know the window's going to be scratched. As long as it's truly pumice that's in the stone. All right. So I'm just making a big assumption that it's labeled correctly. Exactly, Steve. Exactly. Lorraine, you're exactly right. Now, well, here's a great example, Lorraine. Just earlier today, I got a question on the website from somebody. He wanted to know what I thought of the wet and forget product. That it's this supposedly miracle product that you spray up onto your roof, and it just magically makes the roof look brand new. I had them send me some of that stuff years ago. And when I looked at the label in the MSD sheet at the time, now maybe they've changed their formulation, but back when I got it, the primary component was sodium hypochlorite. So sodium hypochlorite is simply chlorine bleach. That's the fancy chemical name for it. All right. So I then explained to the person that's the last thing you want to put on your roof because it comes down and it's corrosive to any gutters or downspouts. It's toxic to any vegetation because once it comes off the roof, it's probably going to fall onto your lawn or your $10,000 worth of landscaping. If you want to kill landscaping, put chlorine bleach on it. But then I explained to him what we talked about yesterday, if you remember, about the whole thing about mechanical agitation. If you want to get something clean, you have to mechanically agitate the surface, meaning if I want to wash my face, I have to rub my face with a rag or my hands with some soap and then rinse it off and it'll become clean. If I just pour soapy water on my face is not going to get clean. And you can prove that. You can prove it. Have a brand new, perfectly clean white towel, have your face really dirty, and then pour a bunch of soapy water on it for 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Just keep pouring the water on. Don't touch your face. Just pour the soapy water on. Rinse it off with some other water, and then go dry your face with a towel. I guarantee you the towel is going to be brown or black or whatever. None of this is hard. None of this is hard. All right. Yes, you're correct, Meg, about soaking overnight. Correct. Steve says, I heard that they can't see the joists are rotten. Exactly. That could be. I mean, that's a good point, Steve. If I was an insurance company or a mortgage company, you're exactly right. If I cannot see the condition of the structure, I'm not getting involved. So I think that your insurance companies and mortgage companies over in England are a lot stricter, which is a good idea. That's a good idea. So, I've not heard of it here. But I'll be honest with you, I've not. I'm kind of detached from that. I'm not in that deal. I'm not in the insurance industry, and in the mortgage industry. So anyway, all right. Sean says many years ago, Bonami was recommended to clean water stains off my car windows. Pumice, it worked. Okay, I don't know. You'd have to look. You'd have to ask the people at Bonami what the heck is in this thing. What is this stuff? Is it abrasive or not? Does it contain ultra small particles of silica sand? I mean, come on. Learning, I agree with you. I was just commenting on what the I got it. I know. And you know me, I'm not trying to pick a fight. I'm not. All right. Steve says, are there any fixings you guys can buy to use on your drywall that holds very heavy objects? Yes. There are all types of really great anchors, and they're coming up with new ideas all the time. I've seen some very ingenious anchors that work really well for holding pretty heavy objects. So the answer is yes, they exist. I can't give you the brand names of any right off the top of my head. I've had some sent to me. John Rep. Many times when you have your own water source, is it necessary to sanitize with a Clorox mix so it will get into the septic and temporarily wipe out the bacteria and stuff if it can't? I understand what you're saying. You have to shock your well. Yeah, if you kill the bacteria in the septic system, no problem. It's going to get going back on its own, just from the stuff that's in your body. You need to understand that this is where this is another great example. Actually, how many times Steve, if you've been around here in Lorraine for a while, how many times have I said during a live stream, um, jokingly, and that's what I'm saying to John, you should have paid attention in biology class, or you should have paid attention in high school chemistry class, all right, or physics class. Remember all those times when we were in class and the teachers, and we're what are we, 15, 16, 17 years old, and we're going, in our head, we're going, I will never, ever use this information. What a waste of flipping time. We all had to say that. Guess what? We're wrong. You need it all the time. So anyway, John, your body, get this. You're going to learn something here. This is kind of cool. We're going to go off topic a little bit. This is really kind of interesting. What if I told you, if you took a scalpel, get this, I'm going to assume that you're a healthy guy. I'm going to assume that you're in really great health. What if I told you, if you took a scalpel and you cut a cubic centimeter of flesh out of your leg, all right? That'd be pretty painful, but a cubic centimeter. So you're going to get the skin, you're going to get a little fat, and you're going to get the muscle. All right, so you got this cubic centimeter of fresh. I mean, it couldn't be any fresher. You're still alive. You put that under a microscope and you immediately do an analysis. In that cubic centimeter, you're going to find no less than 500 bacteria microbes that are active in your body. They're actually eating you. All right? They're eating you. But the only reason you're not dead is because your white blood cells, I may not have this exactly right, but your body is constantly waging a battle against this bacteria that's inside of it. So when you go to the bathroom, both your urine and your stool sample, they contain that bacteria. So every time that gets put back into the septic system, you're injecting the septic system with the necessary bacteria. You don't need to put that Bidets in. You don't need it. The bacteria is constantly coming out of you. All right. So the Bidets people have done a really great job of marketing, man. I mean, it's a great example, maybe of like the pumice stone, where, you see this all the time. You see these huckster ads and the products don't work. All right. So anyway, let me get caught up. Yes, Bonamia is like barkeeper's friend. But once again, if you don't know what the product really is, you have to really be careful about using it on things. That's all I'm saying. Things that you might not think are abrasive might have a lot of really fine abrasives in them. Lorraine's right. Your septic inspector told us never use Bidets. Correct. You do not need Bidets. Don't buy it. Don't use it. It's not needed. Steve says most of my questions are based on American things. That's what I see on YouTube. So if you're seeing on YouTube here in America, Steve, about mortgage companies and insurance companies about spray foam, it could be true. But like I said, I haven't dealt with an insurance company about buying a house that has it or tried to get a mortgage on a house that has it. So I don't know. Could also be a regional thing. Lorraine says, our well had to be shocked too, but then almost ran out of water, threw our hoses into the ground. Okay. I got it. Okay. Marcus, great live stream. Thanks. I was in a little bit of a cage fight about 25 minutes ago with John. I forget. He's way up there in the chat. He was trying to school me on these pumice stones, man. And I was trying to school him. He didn't realize I was a geologist. All right. So I'm making you feel hungry. Rocco, really enjoyed the high school story you posted yesterday. Oh, great. Like algebra. Exactly. Algebra. I have a friend of mine. I'll just share this quick story. So, everybody's got a story like this, I think. Before I met Kathy, my wife, I didn't meet her until like late in my junior year in high school. So my freshman year in high school, I was like a wild animal. I was seriously like a wild animal, and I was working too much. I didn't get great grades. I was taking Latin. I had to take Latin. I failed it. I had to go to summer school. All right. So, and I had to go to summer school over where my aunt was a nun at St. Ursula Academy here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Well, there at summer, so this other there were gosh, there were a lot of people in summer school for all these different classes. Um, there must have been 50 people in summer school just at that one school, and they come from all over. And one of the classes they had was algebra, and taking algebra in summer school was a girl my age, and it turns out we became friends. She actually became my first girlfriend, my first true real girlfriend. And one of the things that we found out really quickly, I started talking to her after school was out. We would both catch the same bus that would take us down to where we would get on different buses. So I got to see her for maybe, I don't know, 3 minutes on this bus ride. And at one point, I asked her for a phone number. She gave it to me. But somehow, early on, we found out we had the same. Our birthday was on the same day, so we had this very unique common connection. But she failed algebra, so it's kind of a running joke between us. I still am in touch with her, and she teases me about not knowing Latin, and I tease her about not knowing algebra. So algebra. I had a tough time with algebra. You know why you have tough time with algebra? Because it's like Latin. It's another language. People have trouble with math because mathematics is a language, and that's why a lot of people have a hard time with it. Uh, all right, Lorene, don't use pumice on your windows. You notice that John went away. Either he was frustrated or he thinks I'm an idiot. It doesn't matter. But I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you as I'm talking right now, I am going to go to the flipping grocery store this weekend here in Meredith, New Hampshire, and I'm going to find one of these flipping pumice stones. And I'm going to do a live demonstration on a live stream next week. I swear to God. I mean, I just like, when here's something you need to know about me. If you haven't figured it out already, I do not. I'm really pretty much a pacifist. I mean, I'm not. I don't go out and start fights. I don't do it. I don't like it. I've only been in one fist fight in my life, and as a young kid. But if somebody starts something with me, I'm all in, like Texas Hold'em. It's like, let's go. So as soon as John was, doing that earlier in the live stream, I was like, okay, let's go, Commander. All right, let's go. But I'm at a disadvantage because I don't have the pumice stone. I don't have a piece of glass. But by God, next week, we're going to do the flipping pumice stone right here on the live stream. And I think I'll title it Pumice Stone Experiment. Oh, okay. I will, Steve, I will absolutely go to that video. Okay, so John said my real point was occasionally use of a lime solvent won't destroy a septic and might be best choice time. Appreciate you and not trying. You're not, and John, I'm not trying to be argumentative with people. Here's the trouble: is that you have to understand that sometimes it's just like if you've never found it out in texting. Like if you text people, somebody may send you a text, and you may think they're being sassy, or in other words, it's really hard in this format and in this format for me to understand exactly where you're coming from. Sometimes it's not easy. So anyway, so I don't like to argue with you, but I was getting a little argumentative with the other John. I was, because he was trying to school me on that these pumice stones, and he was using some data that was not, you can't count on it. In other words, I don't care that there's 10,000 reviews on Amazon. They could all be wrong. like I said, in other words, what I didn't say earlier about that, here's what I didn't say, is that the review about the pumice stone working in the toilet on Amazon could have been accurate. In other words, yes, I used the pumice stone on my toilet and it got rid of the stain. But here's what they didn't put in the review because they don't realize it. They should have finished the review, but I did notice a week later that it scratched the hell out of my toilet. See, that's what's missing in the flipping review. And the reason it's missing is because the glaze is on the surface, and because it's in the toilet bowl, you cannot tell that it's scratched. It could be scratched like hell and you don't realize it. All right. So that's what I was having a hard time getting that through to him. All right, it doesn't matter. And Marcus is right. We're all friends here. I mean, here's all you have to do. This is how simple, have you ever been in I'm sure this has happened to you. Have you ever been in a discussion, almost like maybe like an argument with somebody, and you go your separate ways, and an hour later or a half an hour later, you go, oh, daggone it! I should have said this. I wish I would have said that. You think of things. So to that point, it's like, okay, pumice stone's okay. All right. So what do you think is in the pumice stone? What do you think it's made from? All right. Sandpaper. Let's go to the hardware store and get some flipping sandpaper. They make different types, red garnet, aluminum oxide, silicon carbide. I mean, they make all kinds. All right. So let's get let's get a sandpaper made from volcanic rock, or one that has the same hardness. Now, would you take that flipping sandpaper and would you sand your window at your house? Would you sand your car windshield? See, that's what I was frustrated with him earlier, because it points back to other live streams I've done where I am so frustrated about people not using critical thinking skills. All right. It's like, man, well, but I'll hand them this. A lot of people might not actually realize what's on a toilet. But you would think they would. You would think that they would, just like Steve had put earlier. Steve, you're exactly right. Like, would you take sandpaper and go over to the ceramic tile in your bathroom on the wall and start sanding it? Hell no. Hell no. You're going to scratch it. All right. There we go. Yeah. Steve, so this is wonderful. First of all, I'm having such a great time today. Can you tell I'm actually pretty happy? Steve, you know what's so cool about you, Steve? I don't know that I really told you this. And I don't know that everyone else here understands. And I don't mean to say everyone. You have been following me for a long time. And I didn't realize it because I just met you 3 months ago. So you have this very rich history about me and kind of what's going on. And here's where I get in trouble. So one of the things, I have this routine every morning. I take a shower. I come out. I'm alone. Kathy and I are on a 3-hour different schedule. I go into the kitchen. I make a cup of coffee. I come up here to the cave. And one of the first things I do, I check the news. I check email. I'm trying to wake up, trying to get rid of the drag. All right. That's what it's called. That's what it's called in the industry, a drag. And then one of the things I do pretty early on is I check my YouTube channel, and I should not do that. I need to start checking YouTube like at 10 in the morning. Because if I've not woken up yet, my tolerance level is way down here. Maybe a lot of people, have you noticed that? Like in the morning, some people are a little grumpy. All right. So I get these smart ass comments, there's always the show-offs on YouTube. They think they got a better way. They think they know better. It's so easy to critique what I do. Why didn't you show this? Why didn't you show that? Why didn't you say this? Why didn't you say that? Whatever. And then you're exactly right. I say, well, if I'm in a good mood, I'll say, that's a really good point. Why don't you've got a YouTube channel. You've you hopefully have a camera. So go shoot your own video and show us exactly how you do it. And after you upload it to your channel, come back here and please, seriously, I want to watch it. Paste the URL into the comment thread here. And as you well know, you'll maybe you've already said it. They never do it. Nobody's ever done it. S. Benitez is back. Hello again. How about you? About the boiler? I sent it the info the video gave, but I think I didn't get response because I said I was a project. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. So yeah, you may have to go back and fill out the form again. All right. John says message. Yeah, you can just. It's so easy to take things out of context with texting or this thing. It's pretty easy. Yeah, Lorraine, the morning grumpies, exactly. All right. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Will. Getting rid of that loser. Rocco wants to know, what is your favorite rock or mineral? Granite, by far. Granite is my favorite rock. And I think that, and the reason why is because I've been lucky and I've been able to see many of the different, I mean, there are so many different varieties of granite. And some of them are so beautiful. I mean, they can have just this wide variety of colors and texture. So I love granite. All right. So that's my favorite rock. My favorite mineral. Boy, that's a great question. What is my favorite mineral? So, a mineral is not an element. A mineral is comprised of several elements. So I can't say copper or gold. Those are just elements. I have a really beautiful, here, I'll show you. I have a really beautiful nugget of copper here in my study. It's a little dusty, so I apologize for that. Well, this side isn't. This is a big ingot of copper. I mean, it is so flipping heavy, but it's solid copper. It's crazy. I mean, it's I got this as a gift, but I like that. I don't know. My favorite mineral. I'm going to have to think on that one. There's some really beautiful ones. I mean, oh my gosh, some beautiful flipping minerals. All right, I'll think on it. Steve wants to know, how'd the wife's car get on? All right, so here's what happened. So we've got it's a 2005 XC90 XC90. All right, so it's 17 years old. All right, it's only got 124,000 miles on it. It sits in the garage all the time. It's garaged, always has been. I mean, there's been a couple of nights it's been outside. It had. So here's what happened. I'll relate it to those who don't know the backstory really quickly. Quartz is a mineral. Yes, real quickly, because quartz is, remember, a mineral is two or more elements combined. So quartz is silica dioxide. So it's SiO2. So silicon and oxygen. But copper is not a mineral. Copper is a metal. Copper is an element. All right. So let's get back to the car. So 2 weeks ago, I guess it was 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, I think. It'll be 3 weeks ago this Sunday. I'm driving home from church, and all of a sudden, and I've got my foot on the accelerator to keep the car going 35 miles an hour, and all of a sudden, it's as if I had taken my foot off the accelerator. It's like all of a sudden there was no power, and it started to slow down a little bit. And it did it for about 3 seconds. And I thought, well, that's odd. And then luckily we got home, because at that point, we were about 6 miles from home. 3 hours later, my daughter takes the car out and she goes about 1.25 miles and the car dies on her. It just dies. So luckily she called me. I went and rescued her in my truck. She was going to go to the grocery store. Um, I knew at that point something was wrong with the car. All right. So I got into the car and I was praying, like, please start, because I did not want to. It was cold out. It was pretty cold, and it was going to get dark in a couple hours. And I thought, oh my God, I don't want to sit here waiting for the flipping tow truck. All right, so it started. So I immediately told her, get in the truck, get the hell out of here, go. And I went, turned around, and I drove it as fast as I could. And I got within 500 feet of the house, and it died. It died. All right. I pull over, I stop, I wait 3 seconds, I turn the key, it starts again. Like, are you kidding me? I got it up to the cul-de-sac, turned it around, aimed the front of the car right down the road, and that was it. Parked it, called AAA. They towed it. Make a long story short, the this Volvo, even though it's 17 years old, it's got some kind of very expensive computer. It's called a fuel control module that I guess it regulates the fuel going to the flipping fuel injectors. I don't know. The part cost $600. And and what happened is they determined that the fuel control module was bad. They get another one, they put it in, and they burn that one up. What actually was wrong, there was a harness, a wiring harness that went bad that caused the fuel control module to burn out. So once they replaced the harness and then they got a third module, it worked fine. It's been working fine since. So luckily they only charged me for the one module, but the repair was $850. Crazy. So it works fine. But then Kathy, we picked the car up, and Kelly, my daughter, gets in to drive it home, and she tells me when she gets back, well, Dad, as soon as I got in the car and turned it on, the warning light went off that the passenger airbag's not working. Great. Yesterday, Kathy gets back from church, says, oh, we got another warning now that something about the anti-skid brakes thing's not working. So anyway, it's not a diesel, it's a gasoline, petrol. All right, so let's get caught up. Have you got an olive to go with that copper? No. Oh, here, actually, I have this to answer. Was it Rocco? Yeah, it was Rocco. So Rocco, maybe, I can tell you this is one of my top. So here's a mineral that I really like a lot. All right, so that green, I'm looking at this is a piece of basalt. This is a piece of rock that came out of a volcano in New Mexico, the Bandera crater. But that green rock is olivine. So exactly. So that reminded me the olive to go with the copper. So olivine, I like olivine a lot. I mean, I love that green mineral. So that's and I cut it on a rock saw. That's why it's smooth there. But so there's olivine for you. And the black is basalt. I mean, this material that made this rock came from very deep within the earth, miles and miles down. This is a really deep-seated mafic rock. We call it mafic, from the mantle. I mean, really, olivine, big stuff. All right, so I like olivine. All right. Lorene wants to know, granite countertops or quartz? I would go with granite all the time because they're so durable and they're so beautiful. I mean, if you're ever thinking about doing it, Lorene, go to as many different granite countertop suppliers that you can to look at all their slabs. And sometimes what happens, there's only like one big warehouse and all the fabricators buy from the same place. But you want to go look at all the different granite it's just crazy how some of the slabs are unbelievable. They're so beautiful. Fuel filter was not clogged. It was not a fuel filter issue. Is it Benitez wants to know, is every bidet the same? No, they're different. But the general principle of how they work is the same. Is it worth it? Well, if you have to put one in now, if the house wasn't plumbed for it originally, it's going to be very expensive to put one in. And that's a really interesting question, actually. I got asked that question a lot from customers of mine, where they would want to do something that was somewhat extravagant, and they would ask my opinion, like, should I be doing this? And I would go, I always had to kind of size them up to see if it was within their means. I mean, I can't be asking people personal finance questions. It's none of my business. But I would, if I sensed that they could afford it, then I would always ask them, I would say, why are you interested in it? And are you interested in it because it makes you feel good? In other words, when you walk on this granite floor or whatever it was, will it give you a feeling of happiness? And almost always they said yes. I mean, who would say no? Not going to make me happy. And I would say, then go for it, because you can't put a price tag on happiness. So, boy, I'm trying to find my first pickup truck was a 1974 Ford F100. Had the 3 on the tree, 6-cylinder, the 240 cubic inch straight six. I would give my eye teeth to have one again. I made such a mistake. I should have never sold that truck, but I would give my eye teeth to have that truck back. So anyway, Benita, so a bidet is worth it from a personal level. I can just tell you that people that I've talked to, I've had customers that have used them in other countries that insisted on having one installed, and they swear by it. I mean, they're just wonderful because it's the ultimate in personal cleanliness and hygiene is all I can tell you. It's the ultimate. There, you go to other countries, and they actually think we Americans are crazy for using toilet paper. They think that's the most unsanitary thing there is. So if there's a way, so the easy way to try is, the cheapest and easiest thing to do is you can get conversion kits. You can actually get a toilet seat that is a bidet, so you don't have to install a bidet. Read the different reviews for them. Some of them are very good, and I would absolutely try one. I think I can already tell you, once you try it, you'll never go back. You'll never use toilet paper again. All right. Yes, there you go, Lorraine. Bingo. You nailed it. They do have, exactly. Steve wants to know, do you own a scan tool? If not, you should get one. It would save you money and time. I know what you're talking about. Are you talking about, it's in this drawer here. Are you talking about, well, it's in here somewhere. I can't put my hands on it right away. Like the Wallbot, that, have you seen that? They always heavily advertise around Christmas time. It's an Israeli company. It shoots radar into the wall. So I have one of those. So I do have a scanner that I can see what's behind the wall. So I have one. They are good. Marcus, Japanese toilets have to be the best. You're probably right. Japanese, very clean people. They're awesome. Awesome. Lorraine said, yes, John. Okay. A lot of great questions here. All right. So let me go I'll start at the top. Jack Bowling, why shock a well? Some wells get contaminated with bacteria, and my daughter had to shock their well. So you would shock it. A lot of good information online about that. So you could, if you just type in why shock a water well into one of the search engines, you'll get back some great information. John says, I have a friend whose mom was 105. Boy, still alive. Good for her. And needs a bidet. Do they make them in? Yes, they do. Yes. Absolutely. Just like Lorene said, you can just take a regular toilet and get a seat that transforms it into a bidet. Yes. Uh, okay. All right. I'll look at that, Steve. Oh, a scan tool for your car. Okay. You're talking about like the blue driver. You're talking about the little thing you plug into that universal thing that tells you all the codes. Yes, I have one of those. I have a blue driver. If that's the one you gave the link to. Um, got it. Yeah. So I've got a thing that reads all the codes. Yes. But guess what? Um, the thing with Kathy's car did not throw a code. In fact, when I went to pick it up, the service manager, nice guy, nice young guy. His name's Toby. Toby said, "Hey Tim," he said, the problem, this thing didn't throw a code. He said, we were like looking for a needle in a haystack. So it was a very interesting fault, that it didn't throw a code. So anyway, I can close the door now. Yes. Yeah. I'm. You know what? I was in the office here the other day, and the office is a mess. I mean, you should see around me; it's just a flipping mess. And I just thought, I am going to take a morning and I'm going to clean this flipping place up. I mean, look at this. I still have the stupid Christmas lights hanging there. What's wrong? I got the cans of Rust-Oleum paint there. I've been putting off painting this thing. All right. So maybe this is the weekend I paint this thing. So, I mean, the place is a flipping pigsty. I'm pretty embarrassed about it. But anyway. All right. So quick update. So my daughter's moving out. It's going to be a pretty sad day. I talked about this yesterday or the day before. She's going to be gone in, wow, 10 days or less. Gone, out of here. She's moving to California. That means I'm going to start setting up a new place to do the live stream from in one of the bedrooms on the second floor of the house. All right, so I've got my son involved. He's a tech guy, and I'm going to buy a better camera, and I am going to probably do a green screen so I can put some neat photos behind me. So it's going to be kind of cool. And then my goal is to start to use that software. I forget the one that I want to use. I think it's called SteamYard. Anyway, there's a software I can use that's going to allow me to easily show you photos and do all kinds of cool stuff. So you don't have to look at me all the time. And I'm almost positive I can patch people in. I'd have to patch in people I trust. I don't want somebody I don't trust and they pull some kind of prank. All right. So we'll see if we do that. That's a maybe. All right. So, all right. So anyway, let's see. What is there anything else? We covered a lot of ground today. Oh, so I really don't want to get into it because I just will there be ads on the screen? No, I don't think so. No, there shouldn't be. There should not be ads on the screen because you have to buy the software. So no ads. No. It's just neat software that allows me to do. I looked into this months ago. But I decided not to do it until I could upgrade everything. So, yeah, no ads. It's pretty neat software. So and my problem, what I'm going to end up doing, I can already tell you, is I'm going to end up doing some random live streams, like during the day, just to test things out. And I'm going to end up deleting those videos when YouTube curates them. But before I go live one day, I want to make sure I know how to use the software so I don't look like a flipping idiot. I want the experience to be good for you. All right. That's the whole point of doing it. Just got in. Yes, Jimmy. Hi. Rocco says, maybe you already have done this, but it would be neat to hear the story sometime of how you progressed through your career since college. Oh, boy, that's a great topic. We don't have enough time to do it right now. That is a great idea. How about some of your golf videos? Oh, I just so you know, Will and I are going to be golfing together in I don't know, it's almost March. Maybe in 2 months. We might be lucky and it warmed up enough and the course is in good shape. I don't want to come into the courses in pretty good shape. Um, but I found out that that Will, I think he's um how can I say this? Well, here's what it is. Will has been interested in golf his entire life. All right. And I think Will's a really good golfer, but he's not letting on to be. I don't, he might be pro quality. Here's what's really interesting. Um, and Will would know more about this than I would be, but, um, like on the weekends, they have these golf tournaments and they call it making the cut. So, Will, you can help me out here. How many golfers are normally make the cut for a regular PGA tournament on a weekend? How many golfers make the cut? I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess like 70 golfers, because it seems to me that it would be like a scramble where they would start out, you know, all the golfers on the course at the same time, and they just kind of rotate through. So one golfer's at the number one tee, but there's a golfer at the 18th tee that's starting off at the same time. I would think that's how it works, right? I don't know. Here's the question, because you never see this. You can go back and look online, but the guys who make the cut, what is the average score of the guy who comes in last place in each tournament? What are they shooting? I would love to know that. Anyway, hi Jimmy, Jack, hello Jimmy. All right, so Will, 19 handicap now. So Will's going to cream me because my handicap, I think I've got like a 30 handicap. All right, because like on a normal day, I'll shoot 102, 103, 105. I've only shot in the 90s like 4 times, maybe. The lowest score I think I ever got was a 93. So, but I don't golf all the time. I go like last year, I only golfed 1 time. Uh, the year before that, maybe twice. I'm not golfing all the time. So anyway, but this year I am. So I took Will's advice and I signed up for a league. So I'm going to be golfing every week. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. So Will, answer this question real fast if you can. How many golfers make the cut of a normal PGA tournament on the weekend? Like they have them every weekend, right? Or every other weekend. How many golfers make the cut? I'm just thinking it would be either 2 or 4 golfers per hole is what I'm guessing. I don't know. Anyway, but like I said, then I want to know who, like this tournament that was this past weekend, what was the scores? What was the average score over the 4 games? Because they play 4 games, right? They play Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So what was the average score of the guy that came in last? Was he 10 over? I don't know. I'm just curious in that. But the point I'm trying to make is even the pros, these are flipping pros. Pros. They do it for a living. And some of them come in 10 over. All right. So I don't feel so bad with a flipping 30 handicap. And I only play once a year. All right. Here we go. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. 9 handicap. Wow. Woo. Shooting in the low 80s, buddy. That's good golf. John says, I had a friend who was challenged playing golf and hit anger. Yeah. Yeah, that's those people I only play with 1 time. I'm a happy golfer. So get this. If I lose a ball, like if I hit a ball and off it goes, man. I'm not even gonna go look at that thing. I laugh. I actually laugh. And people ask me, like, why, who've played with me, they go, what are you so happy about? I go, are you kidding me? I look at them right in the eye and I go, when was the last time you found a golf ball? every time a golfer finds a golf ball that's in pretty good shape, and I don't play with crappy balls. I mean, I don't buy up brand new ones. I always, anyway, they're okay. They're not all hacked up. All right. So I already know whoever finds that golf ball, they're gonna be happy. They're gonna go, oh my God, look at this. Look at this flipping golf ball I found. It's like being a kid on an Easter egg hunt. I'm telling you, that's what it's like. So it's like a gift. I just gave somebody a gift. How can you be unhappy about that? All right. So anyway, all right, Steve's got to go. Good night, buddy. Thanks for being here. Anyway, we would love to play golf with you. We'll teach you how to play. We got to have a parachute drop. Will and I will be really patient. I know exactly. I think I know how to teach somebody how to play golf and not get frustrated. I'm serious. We're going to just do a par 3 course, and I'm only going to give you 2 or 3 clubs. You only get a 9-iron, a pitching wedge, and a putter. That's it. And the shorter the club, the more control you have. Simple as that. All right. All right. Good night, Steve. Stay safe, buddy. Benitez. Does infrared bulb costly to add it? No. Just take a. You just got to make sure it's a directed infrared bulb that aims straight down, and like a recessed light fixture, and then it directs all the heat down, and you just screw it in, and they work great. So, John, but read here. That's a great question, by the way. Benitez. Make sure on the label of the bulb you read the safety warnings, because it will tell you, do not do this. Like, do not put this bulb in this fixture. Do not, read what it says on the label. Okay. Okay, so there you go. So that's what I wanted to know. I know Sylvania. Well, it doesn't matter. I got to get this. Hold on. This is my daughter. Yes, I was doing my live stream. How can I help you?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can we talk just really quick?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, there's a lady selling a really nice bed for $100. It comes with a box spring and a mattress, but it needs to be gone by noon on Saturday. Can we make that work?
Yeah, because I'm gonna.
Okay, cool.
Yes, yes. The answer is yes.
Okay, awesome. That's all I need to know. It's in Bedford, New Hampshire.
I know, but what we need to know, you need to ask her, how wide is it? You need to get a tape measure.
Okay, I'll ask her. It's a full-size bed.
Okay, do you understand? Because we have to measure the inside of the truck. See what I'm trying to say? Okay, all right. Bye. That was my daughter. So she's getting a deal on a bed or something before she leaves. All right. You heard. Find the bed. Good here. Good for you. I didn't even think of that. Good. All right. I'm glad you heard the conversation. All right. All right. So let's see here. The unpredictability of where the ball goes make it so much more fun. So golf. I'll just say this real quickly. I like golf. The reason I like golf is for me, like 85% of the experience is social. All right. So in other words, I only like to play golf with people that I have a good time with. I would hate playing golf with someone who's really serious and who maybe not breaks his clubs, but he gets a little grumbly if he makes a bad shot. I'm not doing that. I don't like that. All right. I'm there to not so much kid around. It's not like goof around, but I'm there just to experience the outdoors. I'm a real outdoor person. I love being outdoors. Golf courses, most of them are beautiful places. So only 15% is what the outcome is on the scorecard. I don't care. If I shot 130, I don't care. I'm there to talk with the other person, or if we have a foursome, to have a talk with the other 3 people, chit chat, whatever. That's what golf is for me. All right. So if you're that type of golfer, then we would have a good time. Simple as that. But I think Will and I are going to have a great time. There's the course that Will's home course. I think it's Fox Ridge, right? It's Fox Ridge, right off of exit 75 on I-95 in Maine. Wait till you see hole number 5. Hole number 5, I think they said, they advertise it, it's the only island hole. It's really a peninsula, but believe me, the green is out in the middle of a flipping lake. It's a par 3. It's kind of a long par 3 downhill. I cannot wait to play that hole. Oh my gosh. I just cannot wait. And actually, to me, that's a great place for the hole in the game, because by hole number 5, you're warmed up a little bit. You should be warmed up. And, whereas if you're not used to golfing, and, by hole 16, 17, 18, you might run out of gas and you just might not be hitting the ball that well. But hole number 5, I've already mentally played that hole like 10 times, Will. It's like, and here's the cool thing about golf. I'll just say this. Golf is calculus, all right? So calculus, in case you don't know this, calculus is the mathematics of curves. That's all calculus is. It's just the mathematics of curves. Whereas geometry is typically straight lines, for the most part. Geometry and trig is straight lines, some curves. Calculus, all curves. What's really interesting is once you've played enough golf, once you've got enough of it under your belt, when you hit the ball, within a half a second, you like go like, oh, it's going to make it, or, oh, it's short, or whatever. I mean, because your eye, you can actually do the calculus, and you pretty much know where it's going to end up. So in my head, I've played that hole number 5, and I'm like, oh my God, it is going to make it to the center of the green. Oh my gosh. There's a boat there if I want to use it. Oh my gosh. Will told me in an email that they had a scuba diver go out at some point around this hole. And I believe him. He said they got 10,000 balls out of the lake. Oh my God. 10,000 balls. I mean, I'm going to actually do the math on that. I'm going to do the math on the, how much area that is. But you can pretty much easily figure it out, because you can take a sleeve of balls, how many balls are in a sleeve? 3 or whatever. And how long it is, how high. Anyway, just see how much area that would take up. Anyway. All right. John says Myrtle Beach back in the 80s, 18 courses. Now there are many, many more. Yeah, I know. Lots of water and gators. Yep. Yeah. It's a nice place to golf down there. What I don't like about Myrtle Beach, though, I had 2 golf clubs from pissed off guys throwing their club in the water. All right, Benitez, nice to see you. I'm going to get off of here too. I'm out of here. I got to go help my daughter. What I don't like about Myrtle Beach or Florida is how flat the courses are. That I really like the courses here in New Hampshire. A little bit of topography. I like that a lot. Makes it more challenging, but I just like it. So anyway, so look where these live streams go. They go all over the place. But here's what I can't wait. I'm not going to get it tomorrow. We got a winter storm coming here. I'm going to be locked in. Oh, here's all I wanted to share with you. I almost got it done today, and then I got kind of distracted. I wish you could see what was right here on the part of my screen. I'm like this close, like so close to having my sewer gas ebook done. That's all. Excuse me. That's all I'm going to work on tomorrow in the morning. Because it's going to be snowing. No one's going anywhere. But I would say by noon, my sewer gas ebook's going to be up on the shopping cart. You can buy it. It came out really well. I just have to go through and edit it a final time, check for any typos, check it again for clarity, maybe tweak a sentence here or there. I was tweaking some sentences today, but man, this ebook, it should sell like hotcakes. Because what it is I basically take you step by step how to find a sewer gas leak in your house. and save you literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So I'm going to announce it in the newsletter on Sunday. I'm going to give everybody half price on Sunday. So anyway, great ebook, great ebook. All right. Thanks for being here today. I'm Tim Carter. This has been Ask the Builder. Try to get the word out there about the live stream. We'll try to get more people watching. And I'm going to go get this weekend one of those damn pumice stones. And you can already bet what I'm going to do. When I go down to get it, I'm going to stop at the hardware store. It's right there in the same little mini mall. I'm going to get a scrap piece of glass because I'm going to test it first. I'm going to scratch the crap out of the glass so you can see, so we don't have to wait on the live stream. I mean, but we'll also do it live and I'll dry it off and you'll see the scratches. All right. So anyway, oh, well, John, thank you. Come back as often as you can. I'd love to have you here. All right, so thanks very much for being here today. I will be here tomorrow. Will, thanks so much for moderating. Lorene, if you're still here, goodbye. Jimmy, John, Bidets, I think you're gone. The other John, he bolted early on once we started to. Rocco, good night to you too. It's really hard for me to see the names because they disappear up the screen. So thanks for being here. Thanks for that. And that was a great. Was that yours? I'm trying to go back, Rocco. Yes. That's a good idea. I will do next week. I'll do that live stream about my career. I'm actually writing about it in volume 3 of my book for my daughter, but that's a while off. So I can do it on the video here. That's good. I'll do that. It's really kind of interesting. It's a very interesting pathway. Wow. In fact, before that live stream, I'm going to outline it all to make sure I don't forget something. So we get it all covered. All right. That was a great idea, Rocco. That was a great idea. Thanks for being here today. I had a great time. Wait till you see the video that Will and I are going to do about the golf game. Oh my God. It's going to be so funny. I swear to God, it's going to be hilarious. The John is buying a new windshield. See, like I said a few minutes ago, you wish you think of things later. I wish I would have said, go out to your garage and get a piece of sandpaper. Go put that on your windshield. Tell me how that works out for you. Go put the sandpaper in your flipping toilet because that's what the pumice stone is. Oh, well, all right, whatever. Okay, thanks for being here. I had a great time. Pass the good word out about the live stream. It would be wonderful to get 100 people here one day. I'm Tim Carter, and you've been watching Ask the Builder. Got a lot of snow coming tomorrow.